Okay. Welcome. What do we got going on today? We are going to continue with the iPhone Bose speaker mount. What we got here? Check the levels of everything here. Should sound okay. Yeah. Get some music going here. Get some music going. Time cop was pretty good yesterday. I think I'm going to do that again. All right. Where's mouse cursor? It's faster on one of my monitors. My mouse scaling is wrong. Excellent. You get that mix up here. That should be decent. I think. Let me get this, the 3D mouse ready here. All right. Stream manager, and I just want to make sure that the sound is good. Sound is good. Sound is good. Sound is good. All right. Levels are great, or they seem that way anyways. Okay. Earlier stream today. I might stream all day today. We'll see what happens. I'm trying to figure out when I should be streaming, but I do work like this during the day anyways, so always trying to add some stuff, excuse me, to the website, and getting things like this under wraps. This is pretty much for me though. This really isn't like this really isn't like a what do you call it, something that I need to sell or do whatever. I just want to make it available because I bet you there's a few people that wouldn't mind to have something like this, but you know, it's just fun to make too. Okay, so this compared to the other one had quite a bit more like flair to it, I guess. And I could build in a like just like another way, or another way, a little bit more slope, but I kind of like this like more planar sort of approach, but I want to see. I'm not really loving this this edge here, and I think I'm going to change that. It's not horrible, I just don't like the sharp edge. Let's see if we can put a fillet on this one and not disrupt it too much. Can I do 3? Oh. There we go. Not 3 meters. .5. Let's just try and do the whole thing. This side will need to be done too. Maybe even just 1 or a 1/2 mil. It's probably 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 is the actual nice one. 1.5, that looks pretty good. I just want to do a inspection check. Because that radius is quite a bit larger. This radius on the inside is quite a bit larger than the other. Section analysis. Here. And there's nothing at the back, and I could do some stuff at the back. So we're in that corner, yeah, so that's good. Because there's clearance on that corner anyways. And do this plane as well. Yeah. Because there's a sharp corner on each one of these. You should actually be tangent, but that's not how we design it, because this has an offset and this doesn't. Probably blend that in a little bit better, but I don't think it. Probably not necessary. Do a 10. See how that looks. Analyses. Yeah, it's fine. That's great. So I gotta add the little trough for the buttons, so they don't get pressed. So they don't get pressed. Oh my goodness. So this dips into here. I don't know if I like that or not.
Hello. Hey, Matt.
It's my dad saying goodbye and have a nice day. All right, let's do. Maybe not 3, 1.5. Even that's okay. I still don't like this though. I do like that. That'll work out just fine. Should be a whole one for there. That can stay sharp. I think I'm okay with that. So 1.5 and 1.5. Might even be able to drop this down to 0.75, which I would prefer. And this one here too. Yeah, that looks good. And can we do you and you? And also, ooh, not that one. No, I'm gonna have to do these into separate things here. Ah, yeah, I see. Okay, so I'm gonna click it OK to that one. And this all the way around should be able to, I don't know if this is going to go over there correctly, but I would like to have that. Don't I have a replace face on the end of this? Didn't I? I thought I did. Maybe not. Instruction. Oh, I didn't. Okay. No big deal. What else we got here? So the idea is that I want to have, I need to solve this first. So let's do, oh, that's why. I really do need to do a replace face on it. So delete. Excuse me. Let's do 0f's. Not you. This one. So create a face. Yeah. I'm gonna replace this, both of these, with this one here. This one's already done. I could continue this all the way down too. I kind of like that break that's in there. Okay, so usually what we do is do like a, I don't know, is this not gonna work? You don't like any fillets? Interesting. And this is because the way this is made. Very interesting. So I can't blend those two together. Am I missing a piece? I am, that's why. So 10. 3. Can I do them all at the same time? 1. Nope. Seeing where the issues are. 1.5. Okay, so it doesn't like any of that. It doesn't want to do any of these on the back. So what kind of situation are we left in when we actually can't do something like this? So what is that actual reason? So if we can go and interrogate this and really zoom in, is it just the 3 pieces, or is there something else here that's going on? So try and move this into view, see if I can select anything, and I actually can't. So what do we do for this? So see if I can change the face of this. So this still has those two edges broken up. That has that. And is this continuous? Yes. This is not continuous. Okay, so let's try that. So if I was to go back, this tells me that there's something else is going on, or the corners are just this doesn't want to smooth over because this is not this doesn't want to go over because there's an interaction between the two. So usually in order to make this have a fillet to it, it needs to be able to say, okay, from here to here, how do I get this in a smooth transition? Well, and then and it's the same in the other direction. So this should have to become a smooth transition, right? So then we get, 1, 2, 3, like the two sides will flow into each other nicely to create this corner segment. But now this can't do this because of this one here. So let's see if I can do replace face before some of these. Maybe before these two. Okay. So those are those two. This might have a funky corner to it. All right. Let's see if I can fillet this. And I cannot. Let's try something smaller. I said smaller. Fingers. Okay. So that's not going to work either. So maybe we can just get rid of this altogether. So instead of doing this one here, delete. I kind of liked those ones, but if it's easier to do the cut later or omit the cut altogether, then I guess that's fine. Can we do, where's the replace face that I did way back here? We do source faces. Okay, it only does it per body. That's fine. I can do it later on here then. No problem. So that's all on one angle now. As much as I don't like that. Really? Cannot be replaced. Fascinating. Why is that? Something going on in there. Yeah, just need a little coaxing. So now I should be able to make a nice transition on the back. There we go. 10. Looks nice. Why does that even exist? This should be just straight across, right? Or is it curved? Because if I was to continue that, why would that be there? Or necessary to be there? Okay. So this costs some stuff to go wrong on the other side, even. So this should be a continuation, but it actually isn't. To get rid of these. This is not my preferred method of doing things. And it will not. Fusion don't like this shape. So hopefully maybe get rid of these. Yeah. Still is not great. And these are two different shapes. It looks actually pretty neat. I like that. Actually. All right. I guess that's all we get. I still would like to know why it does that. Now let's see if I can't do at the same time something that's like, I don't know, 1.5. Oh, I can. Look at that. Is that too big? Yes. How about 0.75? Even 0.5, which is really small. Not bad though. Okay. And then probably gonna do 0.5 or something like that on the front. I'm gonna do this in another operation, I think. So the back looks good. And to get that 1.5 again in the front. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that looks great. So this So the inside, and then this one here. Looks pretty decent. So now I need to do this one. Which was attached to here, right, I believe. Was this one on the outside? Oh boy. Getting complicated. Complicated and frustrated. So now that I have that, I can do a continuous. Pop on here, 0.5 hopefully. Oh, look at, just beautiful. I like it. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, so double check that again. Yeah, this radius is a little bit larger, which is okay. I'm gonna make the button trough big enough for this to slide to both sides. This is just in there, so it's not like super tight. We could put this in a little bit more for the radius, but I think it's gonna sit like nicely right in the middle. And it looks good on both sides. So this curve looks weird when you're looking at it like on an angle like this, but usually it's always, you know, gonna be pretty straightforward. And then 1.5 or 1.5 mil, or I have 3 mil, I should say, all the way around the edge, which I could get away with, and it's not going to affect the picture too much. Okay, save that. And I'm gonna start a sketch on this one. Build the trough. Turn this off. And I'm gonna project these buttons. This projects to, and button here. I'm the button man. Turn that back on. So now I have like an area. So this is tight against this side, and this line is going to be the same on both sides. So that's the extent of where the fillet is. just want a center line. That I can do some manipulation on. Actually, this might be a better idea. A more befitting idea to... So I want this and a little bit more. So we're going to go another 1/2 mil. Oh, did it destroy? Why? Why you do these? And then I want maybe, I don't know, 2 mil on each side. Into the center, and then that'll give me plenty of space here. If you have any questions, feel free. I'm always here to answer. So this works if the switch is in either area, or if it's like tilted over or something like that. There's always going to be more room on the other side because this whole slot is centered. That's the idea. So it has room to rock back and forth. And if it was on the other side, so I have a switch on the other side here that I also need to make sure that if this was... Actually, it only goes in one way because of the camera, so I don't have to really worry about that. Yeah, that's good. I actually don't have to worry about that on the other side. I was going to say, well, if you put the camera in on the other side, but it's not going to fit. So it only fits in one way. So that's good. Great. So what happens if I want to charge this thing now? At the same time, I have MagSafe. So let me get this modeled in here. Get that down. I forgot to make these construction. There we go. Manus 1. Right. And then we can check that with the thing here, which should be more than enough for the button. And then there's a little bit of room side to side too, which is the reason why I put that a little bit larger. So that button looks good. Make sure so lots of room, and we can see this in the other direction as well. We want to see them both. So grab onto that handle and zoom in. Oops, too much. Looks good. So I can reach the port from the one side. That's correct. Now when the MagSafe is on there, it doesn't really work that well because it can't get to there. Now what I'm going to do is measure where that MagSafe goes and make clearance for it, or I could say, okay, this doesn't work with MagSafe, and then design one that does work with MagSafe, which would probably be a good option to do that. have the two different kinds because some people just don't like that. I like that personally. I'm gonna go get that thing. I'll be right back. Give me one moment. All right. Look at me now. I'm sitting up higher. Good enough. Am I still pretty level? All right. MagSafe. Pretty neat system here. So, you don't know what MagSafe is? It's an iPhone. It clips onto the back of it, and that is how it charges. So I usually have the MagSafe like this, like off to the side. Oh, that's cool. It's reflecting the green. That's so neat. Read it. It's going through. Off to the side. I could have it go down to the bottom or something like that, but usually when it's in the holster or in the holster. When it's in that on the mount on my speaker when I go to sleep, I just have it on the side and I just like kind of sit it on top. So we'll just give this a quick measure with the calipers again. Just the standard regular set of calipers like from Amazon or wherever. Draw that out. $55.9. Call it 60. So let's make that. Oh, eyes got itchy there. 60, and then thickness is 5.42, 5.4, 5.4, so 5.4. So the magnet is on here, so this sticks to other things. There's no magnet on the phone. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there? There is. My bad. I didn't even notice that. Is that really true? Oh. My bad. I touched the USB thing and my camera stopped working. This thing is so finicky. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Just reaching for something else that's metal here. That's mostly stainless. Is this mostly stainless as well? Sometimes I get lucky. This is mostly steel. It's passivated. Or less chromium. Okay, so that sticks. Yeah, it is slightly magnetic. That's pretty neat. I did not realize that the phone was actually slightly magnetic. Maybe it's just from the... Oh geez, what have I been doing here? Okay. So, what did I say here? 5.4. 5.4. So that we have the MagSafe, and this one is actually... What did I say this was? It was 55.9. I should actually use 55.9. Yeah. So we'll do that, 55.9. Make it correct. So that's the MagSafe puck. And then on the one side, got a cable that comes out, anti-strain, 4.1. Well, 4.2. Looks centered in the thickness. So 4.2. We're gonna do a plane on tangent plane. And it should be straight on the bottom 0. Yep. So project those two. And then this is going to be, what did I say that? 4.2. And then this sticks out. So measuring like the curve of what this is. This should be at least to where it doesn't matter anymore. I'm gonna say almost 15. It doesn't. We could probably stretch it a little bit further. 15 seems appropriate for clearance. It's a little less than that, but we'll go with that. So 2 sides. I'm gonna go in. We're gonna join this. 15 for the other one. I guess we could just make it symmetric. It's 15. There we go. And that's kind of the clearance that we need to work with. That's the reason why I'm making this so large, but the actual piece is about 11. So what I can actually do is I'll do 11. I'll do 11 and then I'll do an extra 4 at the cable diameter. So then I'll know that there's a little bit difference here. 3, 4. Okay. MagSafe. Boom, boom. Dun, 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 dun. Very interesting product for just being, I don't know, it's pretty straightforward. And then this is this has a small chamfer on it, probably 0.2, something like that. Let's see if this is MagSafe. MagSafe charger. Now I need to get the position, say from the bottom. It looks like it's dead center of the phone. Like pretty much dead center. So let's go. This is not the best way to measure this, but it's close enough, I think, for what I'm doing. It's a little offset to the top. So from the bottom I get 53 dead on. 53.02. That's good enough for me. 53. So that's saved, right? I have MagSafe. Okay, good. And now I'm going to bring this one in as well. Shut the body off. Bring that in. You can still hear me okay, right? I think I can hear myself, so it should be good. Should be good. Origin, okay, that's the bottom. So this is dead center of the phone. Now I'm going to check these two. This is going to be this surface and this surface here. Shut off U2. And then I'm going to draw a line. And I'm going to make a couple points. Because I'm a weirdo like this, and then I can actually dimension this. So I said 53.4, so it needs to be, or I said 53, so 0.6, it needs to move higher. And if I turn this on, oops, not redefine, show dimension, and I move this, negative 0.6, 53. And then I'll quickly check it in the other two dimensions. Doesn't have to be quick, but so from the top, it's actually a little bit closer on the top than it is on the bottom. Slightly closer to the top. And this could just be manufacturing tolerance too. So this is what I'm getting at. So it's 10.6 from the top. 10.6. So same thing, go from here. We have this one here. We're going to project this line, or this surface rather. You can project just the lines if you like. And I'm going to do the same thing. 2 points, intersection. I said intersection points. Right. So that's 10.9. I said 10.6. So it has to go up 0.3. So up 0.3. 0.3. 10.6. Okay, so I had to move. So in, right, I have 0.6 is the worst. So it could be 0.6 in either direction and 0.3 in this. But if I call it 0.6 all the way around, I'm pretty happy about that. So the original position from center that I can get from this. Where are you? Pro Max. Can I do... Will it give me the center? Go back. New sketch. Okay, I was doing it correctly. Oh boy. So I have that all the way around. You know what, I'll just do it in the other one. Okay. Make sure those are all off, and then I have another circle that I want to do that has a larger tolerance. And then this middle is going to be, what did I say that was? 0.6? No, 0.3. And 0.6. So that's the actual center that I have here. And then I just tangent connect this. So then I see kind of like the offset where that goes. And so that gives me perfect concentric offset in the one direction to where this can be, but now it goes in both directions that same amount. So if I put this on here, I know it's going to be like perfect for all phones. If that's going to be like geez, I'm forgetting the words here. It's been so long since I've had to like say them out loud. It's so funny. I want to say target accuracy. That's just not right. Target's not the right word. Concentricity, maybe. So it's like if they're, what's the tolerance, the GD&T name? Okay, and I'm pretty sure that's right. So the original I have, or did I do it backwards? Hang on a second here. This projection is the offset. So I did it backwards. Right. So if I have a larger, oops, get rid of that. If I have a larger circle, that is dead on in the position of where this particular phone is. So if I was to go back, so it's down and the other way. because I moved the original piece there, but it should be more to the right, 0.6, and I moved it up, and it should be more down. Which is correct. So this way is 0.6, this way is 0.3. There we go. That makes more sense. I was gonna say, because it just didn't sit right there with me. So I'm using that for the edge of the tolerance, and it actually might not be, it might be further than that, or it might be less, I don't know. So what this does is it doubles the tolerance in this direction. So it could be here, or it could be the other way, I think. So this is sitting all the way on the other side, but now I can move the other direction. It can come center, or all the way on the other side, and then I can move up. So it's all the way up, but now I can move all the way down. So if this was the hole that was provided, right, for this thing to sit in, and that required a tolerance, then that's what I do. But because this one is mine, I'm not gonna make it like that. I'm gonna make it perfect for this one. Oops. And I think I'm just going to make it 1 millimeter larger. One millimeter. And, you know, I'm not going to do that in this sketch. I'm going to do it in another one. So I'm going to project. Actually, I'm not. Yeah. I'm just actually going to project the MagSafe because I know that's in the right location for mine. So when I sit mine in there, it should be pretty good. Now I have to consider the other tolerances as well. This thing wants to sit in there wherever it wants to sit. So if I make the tolerances too tight, the foam might not want to like sit down where it's supposed to be. So it should be like when this is sitting flat on that one surface. So when it's sitting flat on this surface, if it has the tendency to go back and forth a little bit, I would rather have it center on, I think there's what, 1 millimeter or something like that. It's not much, like per side. It's gonna settle in for each one. So if it can move this much, then the piece in the back should also have that amount of clearance, the same amount. So we could just measure that really quick. Or I could look back in the sketches too. So flat to flat. I got 0.5 mil, which is going to be pretty tight. So at least half. So if I made 1 mil all the way around this, then that would probably be okay. So now we're getting into design aspects and stuff like that. It's going to work without any of this backing. So I could have just a little bit on here and it would still work. So it's just making it look nice, essentially, is it what I'm actually concerned about. So I have the sketch there. Let's do this and you also. And we're going to turn off these things. So horizontal, vertical. Ooh. Auto constrain. Well, shit, ain't that something? Cancel. I'm gonna try that out later. Be fun for the both of us. Technically, don't need. I'm not looking at this straight on here. You. Why? That's huh. That's gotta be something funky here. Let's try. Probably just looking at it weird. Oh no, it really is off. Well, that's not correct. Get rid of that. That again. And then and then this is going to be bent out. So that's kind of the extent of what I wanted to have. This could be just extended out to here. Totally fine. Let's do collinear. Have this go out. Do the same with this one. Shouldn't be over constrained. Am I like having a moment here? There we go. Like, why isn't this coming on here? So these two can go. This is not a thing. And I just want it this larger. So here and here. And you. Just like that. One. Okay, and then this would be slightly larger, say by 1 millimeter. And this will also be larger by 1 millimeter. which should be more than enough. Wouldn't you know it?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right. A little chat with my dad there. Alrighty. Let's so this is our cutting shapes. So let's see if we can do. I want to bring this back before the fillets. These two here. And then we're gonna do these two as a cutout. Symmetric. Right. So when these things are on there, MagSafe. So the MagSafe is in there. This has room to go over, but now I kind of like this like sort of half moon look, but maybe maybe continue this like up on a curve or something like that. That's like sort of similar. So it has room. It doesn't have to be perfectly like flat. Maybe it could be down just slightly, something like this. So let's explore what this design looks like. I don't really care for these two things. This I'm not really keen on. Right, something that looks like this. So maybe this section here could be from there. This would be really interesting if this is like almost the exact same. That would be very, very interesting. So look at this here. Man, it's almost perfect, isn't it? Something tells me that it should just be smaller. Though I kind of like the look of the one side though. That looks pretty neat. The other side doesn't look great. Let's get rid of this. Just turn those off for now. Let's see, what was this? $10? Yeah. So 10. Let's put another 10mm fillet on this. And I'm gonna put maybe maybe a 3. Something like that. So it's got to serve a couple purposes. It shouldn't look like total ass while it's just sitting there, one, and then two, it should look good while it's just got the phone on it this way, which doesn't look bad. I don't think it's going to tip out because it's it has capture on the inside here, and then it's got room for the MagSafe, so when the MagSafe is on there. Now the MagSafe the other direction isn't going to matter much because it's going to be up a little higher, and then that's not really how I'm making it anyways. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should put the MagSafe in with the phone, because then I'd have the both orientations. Actually, I'm gonna do that. Should I do that? It screws up a lot of stuff. Just leave it for now. So it's definitely going to be clear because it's going to be up higher. It'll be up something like that. Let's turn off the one. Yeah, that actually doesn't look terrible when it's sitting like that. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Let's see if I can get these things to go again. Oh, it did it without errors. How awesome is that? I kind of like that one swoop that comes up here. I'm wondering if I shouldn't keep it. Let's cut. We'll bring this back. Picks matter. Oh dear. Oh, that's why. I was like, what is going on here? This music kind of sounds like it would be from like RoboCop 4 or something. Like it's like a, I don't know. Maybe that's not right. Delete. Where am I missing these from? I don't know why I did it like that. 3. Oh, it's because of the one side. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's gone. Delete. Okay. Remove. So selection should be no longer there. And this should be all the way around. And it doesn't have one on the back side because that's one of the ones that I deleted. And I could do this one on the front is, oh, the big one on the back side. That's what happened. So I did this one here, right? So like 10. All that trouble. A big swoop. Half. Beautiful. I think we're good. I think that looks cool, promising. Plop the phone on there. When it stands upright, it's got a little bit more. That's kind of what I liked, even though it's not going to go anywhere because it's captured in the lip here. Maybe just gives it a little bit more stability. I think it looks neat too. Okay, so laying down looks cool still, and then I can plop the MagSafe on it if I want to, and it's got room to go back and forth, up and down a little bit. That looks really good. So we're gonna save that, and the edges, that all looks okay. These I'm gonna print sharp because I want to have the really flat edge. I would like to have the material for when it does the 3D print. I want to have the one. I'd rather have more material there that I can take off myself, like by hand if I want to. I think that's great. So this isn't really covered that much. This is yeah, both good. Very even looking. So this should line up pretty much with the edge of the screen. So all the way around the screen is about almost 3 millimeters all the way around the screen. Oops. I have a black screen on the side, but the yeah, it's absolutely 1.5 mil all the way around, or sorry, 3 mil all the way around. So this inside should line up almost perfectly with the picture. You know, like a millimeter here or there is not a really big idea or big deal. So that looks I'm really happy with how that looks. Let's do the vertical impression on this one. So here, when we have let's do this straight up and down. Where's my origin? Right there. So this is gonna sit in a little bit lower, and I might do it a little bit tighter too. So when it sits in there, it almost like it sits in properly, I guess. And then there doesn't have to be a trough or anything there. But like a portion of it'll be gone anyways, because this will be deeper. Well, that's kind of an interesting thing here too. So 1 for 1, I'm gonna approach this maybe a little bit differently. I'm just gonna do straight subtraction from this with the body. It's gonna keep the tool obviously, and then this leaves a perfect imprint on the bottom. I'll turn the analysis off. We're not gonna keep these obviously, but what I was thinking was, if this is this is perfect. So this is this is too small right now. It needs at least 0.3 on each side. So what I'm gonna do, I don't need any of these faces. So I can just select these faces here. Not the origin. So just those. Get rid of that, because those are all holes, right? Impressions. And then I need to have at least. So I'm just gonna move these faces. So this is a little bit different of an idea. We could do a full cut and a sketch and a cut and all that stuff. I'm just going about it a different way just to show you guys different ways to do stuff. Usually I would just make a sketch and then cut it out. It's parametric that way. This is still kind of parametric too, as long as the faces don't ever change as long as they don't change their value within Fusion. What's up, dude? How you doing, man? Wake and bake. Hey, good. Get the day going. This is move, and I'm gonna want 0.3 at least in this direction. Let's see what we got here. Negative. We're gonna do 0.5, I think. So that'll be like right at the fillet there. 0.5, and we could move all the way out here too, right to this edge, instead of having the number. Oh, and also I forgot. This is I probably moved it wrong here. You have to make sure that you're moving in the proper plane. So when you have a move, see how it's like all funky like that? I actually didn't move it correct. So if you reposition, like you reset your pivot, you can move that correctly now. Now, if you were to set your pivot to, say, here, anywhere, it doesn't really matter. So it's going to be on that face. And if you pull this in any direction, and I click on something else, it moves that face to the next one. And I think that's the idea that I'm going to go with here. So this seems like a little bit nicer of an idea. Now, in doing that, so I've created another problem where now that's undercut. So this technically isn't the best way to do this. The best way to do this is to draw a sketch, do all the rests, and then do the whole thing again, and do it before I do all the fillets. Yeah, not doing too bad, man. I woke up with a little bit of motivation just to get some stuff done today. I really wanted to get this done. I've been putting this project off for, I don't know, ages and ages and ages. So I woke up with a little bit of drive to get some stuff done, So hopefully. Alright. Yeah. Some cool content. This is a where is it here? So I have a phone holder. This is like a new version of it for a new phone with iPhone with MagSafe. So I don't know if I can bring in the speaker or not. I think this is just the top surface here. Yeah. Let me see if I can drop this in here. You can see the full thing. Yep. Drop that on there, and then I have a phone that sits on top and a MagSafe. That's kind of right. I'll just do it for show here. So it sits on there, then it holds the phone and the MagSafe in position. So, and also if I put the phone in and I put the MagSafe on, this should hold it like up and down pretty well. So I'd have to tip this in and then put it in like that, or I'd have to put the MagSafe on afterwards, because this should actually keep that in there. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, pretty happy with how that's turned out. So revert that. Actually get rid of this model. Alright. So we're going to go back. And let's see here. Delete. We're going to take all this stuff off. And then we're going to go before we did any filleting. Actually. Okay. Gonna move that back. Move these back. Fillets are always at the end. Switch these two around. There we go. And in the vertical format, we are going to do this one. We want the outside this time. Turn off this body. We're going to take the outside edge here all the way around. Oh, not the surface. Just the edge. There we go. So that's what we're looking for cut surface. For the bodies. And then I actually want it a little bit larger too on the outsides. So just on here. So here and here. We're gonna do maybe 0.5. And this one will be 0.5. Turn the body off. So just a little bit of side to side, but I want the bottom still to remain. Ooh, what's not closed on this one? Finish. Oh, it's the tops. Yeah. Wrong ones. Profile on. Okay. So this now can be used to go to this object here. No, two objects. Always select the wrong one for whatever reason. Okay, so I know that that is correct cutout shape. That I need to have this, the vertical. Turn off that sketch. So this will sit in there, and then it's got a little bit of room to float around. Appropriate. And I'm just going to make that a little larger. So the bottom doesn't need any relief because there's nothing on the bottom of that. But this doesn't. This does need a edit. A little bit more curvature, just so that it's continuous. Turn that off. Turn off the analysis. Just apply another fillet, maybe 10, before we get started. And that just eases one into the other. I think that's okay. So let's see what we can do here. So, oh, this is also needs maybe a little bit of replacing. Let's replace face. So this one with this one. Beautiful. And then actually when I was doing this one here, we could probably do one on top of this one too, say like 1 mil. Let's do 1.5. We did 1.5 in a lot of other areas just to smooth that out. So this should be a continuous line when I go to select one of these. Not sure which one it's going to be. There we go. So now that the fillets are continuous there. And then actually, we do a small fillet on these ones, 0.2, like that. Not that it matters. The filament's 0.4. Yeah, 0.2. Just makes me feel comfortable, more comfortable, I guess. And the rest of them should go on there good. And finishing, perfect. Hurry up and save it. Oh, dirty. How does this work here? Good enough for me. So how you been doing, man? Get some gaming in today? Maybe more Dishonored? Alright. Pretty happy with all that. We do... You know, I said I was going to do... leave these guys alone here, but I kind of want to... Oh, it doesn't like the 0.2? Really? Chamfer. It's strange how it does it on one, but it won't do it on the other one. 0.15. Close enough for me, man. There you go. And I think the only other thing I had was the logo that I wanted in here. Maybe I'll do it like in the corner or something like that. So I have the logo. I don't know where this is. There's so much stuff here. Good thing I saved it. Sometimes opening up these like really old models is dangerous. All right. Give me 1 sec. Just gotta clean my ear. A little itchy. All right. So yeah, I can definitely use that. Actually, the stamp is probably going to be fairly accurate to what I want. Should 3D? It should be able to 3D print. See if I can get this to go on here. All right, see what that looks like. Looks pretty cool. And I'll do the same on the front. Right on. I think I want a little bit more room on that. Say... Hold, please. Just got a delivery. Be right back. Alright, we back. Man, lots of interruptions today. Oh, well, I guess I'm not back. Hang on. Hang on. Good thing we get that stuff out of the way here. Activate. It activates. Come on, I know you want to. Wonderful. Oh my. Maybe I should have the chat window in another location? Or stream parrot here. Maybe like, I don't know, somewhere down there. I usually like to have it on the side there, but that's where all my stuff ends up being for Fusion. I don't really want to change that because it kind of ruins the workflow that I have here. I guess I could look all the way over there, but you know the screen's wide, and then I gotta go all the way over. Yeah, I don't actually mind working on like a smaller screen. It's just like I worked before, so like we had square monitors way back in the day. This, what do I want? I want this down a little bit. Maybe not that far. Let's say something like that. 3 and 3. Minus 3. This needs to go up a little bit. Will this even work? Man, this is really small. 0.3. You know, that's probably not even going to show up, right? And same with this one here. So you know what I'm going to do is... go back to this one over here. The logo. And get rid of all these. Bring in the big logo. It's fine. I'm going to create an offset. Sketch here. Forgot a step. Wowza, look at all those. Something like that. And try and just get the body like sort of in the right spot. Do that here. Make the I put a joint origin on that. Amazing. It's probably at the right cutting depth too. Yeah, I'm just gonna say. Something like that. Because this surface is curved, I'm probably gonna do an emboss here instead of the so sketch profiles. Oh, it actually has to be a sketch. My bad. Can I use the sketch existing? can. Good. So let's do an emboss. Faces. Just this one. And maybe that one. Oh, actually, it has to be in here. Okay. No problemo. Make one more sketch on here. Turn that off. And now we can do the emboss. Weezer the Pulse. Faces. You and you maybe again. There we go. Sketch profiles. I want this sunken in and only, I don't know, 1 mil? Something like that. Let's try half. 0.4 is 1.5. I wanted to see how this looks. So definitely in between here and here, but like, so the nice part about this is I can move this around a little bit. And see where this ends up being. That's kind of got like a 90s vibe to it. I don't actually mind it that much. So because this is curved, you can split the difference between the two for this. So if this is straight and this is curved, maybe something like that. So it's the two angles between here and here would be the same. That actually looks not too bad. Maybe move it up a little bit. Down a little tiny bit. And in between the swoop and this one here. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And then this is an even, it's even depth. The other one wouldn't have been an even depth. So that's kind of cool as far as that goes. It doesn't really need to have anything on the front because the phone is generally going to be there. And, you know, having a logo on the back is fine. It's pretty awesome. Really happy about that. It's a good turnout. We'll do, I guess complete. Let's do, complete complete for i14 Pro Max. And then one last look at this here. Looks pretty great. I think I might have had. I'm not actually too sure if I had that on here. I can open up an older version of this. I think it was 22. It was the last milestone, so I'll just open that. So this is what it looked like before. Okay, yeah, that was square on the ends. And it just had like a standard logo in the front and a trough that was like full. So on the other phone was pretty flat. Actually, and this one here is not meant for this one, I don't think. This was the previous one. So the 7 Plus, this was made for geez, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, so it stood it more upright, moved it in a little bit. Changed the front look, like the front look, how this looks here. And then because this phone is a little bit heavier, a little bit more square, it has the MagSafe on it and the camera bump, I had to accommodate all that. So that looks pretty cool to me, I think. And then this cable will just either come out, this will start bending down a little bit and have lots of room. And that should sit in there just nice like that. The buttons on the bottom have clearance. This thing here has total clearance. Let's do section like this as well. So it's supported on each end. And then where the buttons are, there's a little depression. So lots of space for those. So essentially all the way out on the outside. Lots of room there. All right. That's great. Cool. Let's get the 3D print stuff ready to go. Don't save that. And this is the final. To there. So let's export that. Save that mesh. Did I actually start a freebies in this one, or? Freebies. Throw that up on the site. Bose mounts. Hey, how you doing, Cruising Girl? I totally didn't just try to hit cancel on the pop-up because I sat down next to my keyboard as it came up. Hey. Well, that's great. Thank you. Did the message work? It's like, hey, we had a lot of fun last time. Something like that. I forget what I put on there. How you doing today? Welcome in. Save that. Maybe I'll take a picture or two. Let's render it out. Render. Maybe I should put it in the thing here too. It was the save dialog. Oh, that's funny. All right. It's like this. Make safe. Let's do render. Set up all this stuff here. Setup should be done already. No, it's not. Because this is an older model. It's an older model, sir. Let's try something like that. That's great. Yeah, I'd never done that myself either. So many times, and you know, it's like sometimes I know what I'm looking at is not. It's not that, and I still want to do it anyways. And I just like go and click the screen. I'm like, what am I doing? I do like a good point and click game, so. Time to take a drink. Bubble floaties. The rendering. Almost ready. It's almost excellent. Okay, it's excellent now. This big screen capture. Something like so. Now these, I have been collecting the freebies. Oh, look at that, it's F10. Well, that's cool. Oh no, what did I do? How could I? There we go. Take it a little bit larger because when I crop these, it ends up just cutting off the edges there. Okay. This one might need its own page. I'm thinking about doing that anyways. Maybe not freebies. 3 print files? What did I want to call this? Where's my... That's the back end stuff. The designs, yeah. So this might not be freebies. This might be just 3D models. 3D, yeah, just the 3D models instead of freebies. And this one could be I could do like several speaker mounts. This is, I don't know if I'm going to get into that. Do that there. And it was in freebies. This is this one. Take that away from there. Might have to add another page. This is it's not like a fab. It's not a fab pack because it doesn't have drawings and stuff to it, but it will have the 3D model file and probably an STL as well, so it can be brought into a CAD program, modified or stretched or whatever. And then those will be cheap. Okay. See if I can get that right. Something like that. In canvas render. That looks believable, doesn't it? Can't wait to print this out and get it installed. I've been trying to do this since I got this phone. It'll be something really nice. I'm gonna look forward to. Get this going. So yeah, that was a pretty fun project. I'm glad I put the ear back on there. Kind of ties it all together. Kind of makes it like the design kind of tilts a little bit. This is tilted the other way, and stuff is curved and all over the place. Amazing what we can do with CAD and 3D printing. Just such a cool thing. I wasn't into it before. I should have actually been into it like for a really long time. I think I started in 2020 when I got my first printer, so that's 5 years ago. I should have been into it years before that. One of my buddies introduced it to me. I just like, I don't know if I'm gonna have a use case for that or not. You know, like I just didn't see it at the time because I was into metal fabrication and just doing like house renovation stuff and all that. I just didn't have time. But it's got so much utility, and so much like fun things. It's kind of strange that I never got into it. So that should cut that off right about there, I think. Oh, that's the original one. That's cool. It's the back end. Am I blind? There we go. Front, back, Just make sure that's saved. Yeah. And then make a couple without that. Yeah, what else have we got going on today? What are we gonna do? What else do we have? So we had the Bose mount. Yeah, geez, I wrote them down already over here, didn't I? So the laptop stand I got in. Oh yeah, the bulb holder, I could do that. Exhaust flanges, the Bose mounts, the light fixture. So the porcelain bulb holder model. I went to freebie. So this should be, oops, freebie and upload to like GrabCAD, Thingiverse. So contribute to that a little bit. The iPhone Bose mount and the look at the laptop stand I did already, and the lighting fixture. I don't know if I want to do the lighting fixture or not. I kind of do. So the lighting fixture would be, that'd more be plans, I think. So we could work on that a little bit today. The light bar. I wouldn't mind to simplify that a little bit. So I can eliminate the tube. So there's a tube inside of it, and then that has the top on it. I kind of like the way that the tube looks, but there's a lot of, and I use the tube as the structure, but it might not be necessary to have like a tube because it's more expensive than just like a piece of sheet metal, but it requires maybe less work. It would still have to go through your laser, like or a tube processor or something like that, and whatever else here. Let me reduce that. Take a picture. Just that by itself. Save. So front. I want to rename this with speaker. front bare. Naming things is always hard for whatever reason. Yeah. Stuff's heating up in there. Holy moly. A little bit more of the side profile like I did before. A little bit larger. It's just gonna end up being square, so I have to make sure it's not too big. So the lighting fixture, this will be a fab pack. And then possibly like redesign. Uploading and doing all that stuff isn't really that much fun to see on screen, so I'm just trying to think of stuff that we can do together on stream. I'm gonna take right after, like, probably around most likely around 1, I think. I'm gonna take a break from like 1 to 2, something like that. Either that, or I'll just put on like I'll put on one of my videos and just stream a little bit, or I might stop and come back and then do some more modeling later on, like this evening. I do like the afternoon stretch, like this stretch here, but I'm not sure if how many people are available to watch during, like, because it's like the work day, so I want to cover lunchtime. Sometimes, you know, it's nice to come and watch, eat lunch or something. Is this to save? Back there. Yeah. Okay, looks good. So I got some images for that. Okay, stop that render, give my computer a rest. Design, let's just go through some of the stuff that I've done before. So that's good. I have the STL for printing. I'll load that up in a second. I did the phone. I could actually do the iPhone too, iPhone Pro Max. Yeah, let's do that. Pro Max. This would be 3D model. Actually, yeah, I'll do a freebie. Why not? Freebie. And then also upload this to that. Porcelain, yeah, porcelain bulb holder. Lighting fixture. Should probably print out a couple. Print out one of these, and I could sell it, I guess, like the actual physical product. What was this phone mount here? This was something that you would just put together, like really simple, and then essentially would be like it's like a print of Oops. Let me see if I can get this to set up here correctly. This was kind of like intended to be like it prints like this, so it's in like a rectangle like footprint, and then kind of goes from there. Hold please. I know I'm not talking to you. These people during the day, it's just gonna be political or something else. Yeah. So that was kind of like the idea of that. This was like a tablet holder phone or tablet holder or something like that. What was I was forgetting what I was yeah, because it would just sit on the edge here and then like on the top, and that would be the thing. So a couple like rubber pads on here, something like basic. You just put it on your desk and away you go. Really simple. Another I guess another thing would be if I had some sort of this could be it could be 3D printable as well, but it would have to be a more engineering type plastic to make it correct. So it would have like an actual yeah, you'd have to print it like this in order to get the strength of it. If you printed it flat, it's not gonna have that good adhesion, or possibly not. It's kind of like thinking through some of the avenues of this. So one of the other things too is trying to keep this light. So if this hole wasn't here, where am I? Oop. I can't believe I did that. Whatever. So instead of having this giant hole in the middle, which actually doesn't why did I build it this way? This is so strange. Yeah, like when I how long ago did I do this? 21? What was I thinking? It was very strange because like usually you can literally design flat, like stuff that like that's flat like this, you can design it flat because you can it's like it's just drafting. Like if you were using a pencil, same thing. Um yeah, you can just draft it all flat and then change it afterwards. It's kind of strange. Geez, I kind of want to change that now. What is this? Yeah, so this is designed for the 7 Plus. Right, so not a huge thing. It would be kind of neat to have. So it's flat. It's designed flat, but then when you get it, you like literally just bend it into place. But it's gonna bend in such a way that it's not gonna break, like the one time. But if you keep bending it back and forth, it will break. So it would have to be made out of something that's extremely ductile. Yeah, it's not a really great idea. Now, if it was either way, yeah, that's bad. Because you do it once, it's like if you do it back and forth, it's gonna break, and then once it actually breaks, then you could take it off and put the other thing back on. But then there's gonna be sharp edges on those two things, so you could do that and ship it with a file here, and then just like here's the instructions on how to do all that. So this could be a pattern with a bunch of holes or slots or like some other pattern that can go into itself. Maybe spiral patterns. This was just in order to make it light, but you know, for like the size of it, it's gonna weigh just as much as the phone if it was solid. And because I don't really want to go through all that stuff again, I'm just gonna delete the faces here. I know, shh, don't tell anybody, this is bad. I should go back in the timeline and fix it all, but I don't want to. So when this sets up onto here, oh, there's an existing relationship. Delete. There we go. And then this. Is that right in the middle? Why would I put that in the middle of the phone? So now we have like MagSafe and stuff like that, but if you just needed something quick, it's you know, that's not such a bad like way to do it. And that this will force this to go back however much slop there is in between. That'll hold, no problem. It'll sit on there nice. The thing that should happen though, it should be shipped with like a rubber pad on here and here, and maybe one on the top up here or something, or just a strip up the middle. There we go. Look, I was thinking about all this stuff already. So let's do, I don't know how far I can get myself in here. -2, something like that. This is just setting up a just this edge here so I can mirror it over, mirror line, and then I can connect these two. That, and then it's kind of the same for this. So you and you. Should be symmetrical, I think. Yeah, it sure is. That's that. A new component. 1.5. Rubber pad. Change that physical material. See how it looks. It's black rubber. Probably get away with this being smaller. Let's see, 1 mil. And These are both kind of like out in limbo. Are you locked down? Unground. So I should be able to pick this up and move it. There we go. Just wasn't able to select her for life savings. No. 5. Strip up the middle. It would see like this is where you can do like a pattern if you really wanted to, but when this slips down, it's gonna interfere with the rubber. So either don't do it like this. You slip it in from the side or something like that, or you just have like one all the way down the middle, something like that, or just a little bit, like one in, like right in the middle here. It's probably fine. So just make sure it's clear. We can do something like that, and then probably want it more to the inside. Oops. No, the endpoint, please. There we go. Now I have a center point. In a moment. And I can say this is going to equal this. No. Not looking at that correctly. I was like, wait a second. That's not going to be right. 1. New component. Rubber pad on the back. Would you like a pad on the back? And 3. Oh, 1. 1 is better. Physical material again. Already got one in there. And now, because I have this sketch, I got somewhere to tack it to. I could have done that on the other one as well. That's not correct. There we go. Boing. So I didn't actually give this a size, did I? 1.5 clearance. I could have gone directly, say what, 12 mil? 12. Just hit my escape button too quickly. 1.5 mil clearance, perfect. And when the phone sits on there, it's going to be up a little bit. Where is dip phone? 2, 3. Oh, look at that. That's fun. $42 is always a good number. After all, it is the $41.42. The answer to the ultimate question. So you could do one right in the middle. You could do it up further. I don't know, 25. Something like that. Obviously, this will be way too high now. It's probably a better idea. The bottom one will, if it's down lower, may have the tendency to kick out a little bit more. Maybe you don't want it up too high. Maybe compromise. Would I take off 10? It was 15, wasn't it? Something like that. Another thing we could do with a product kind of like this is do like a 3D printable TPU or other sort of mount that like clips into the steel. That's one of the other fun things like we could do with a fab pack. So you could have this laser cut, or you could do it yourself. Or you could 3D print the pieces, and then you could snap these things, snap in these other pieces, and then you have this sort of idea that sits there. And this will end up being a little bit more of an angle. It's not going to be perfect. It'll sit back a little bit farther. Depending on how close this fit is, that's what gives you the like that sort of like scissoring sort of action. So it'll sit back slightly, like a, get my hands right here. It'll be sit back slightly a little bit further. So a little finger that sits up there. There's another couple things too. You can inject it with like I've seen. It looked like forged titanium. It was really small, super strong little thing. I think it was made by Joby or one of the camera company accessory companies, something like that. Really nice looking piece. It was like this like little tiny miniature tripod. I was like, wow, that solves the problem there. I bought one. Because it gave me like a little handle, plus it like to use the phone with. Plus it was a mount. I had like a quarter 20 thread on the bottom of it, and it can use it as like a stand, and that's what I actually originally bought it for. Was just to have the stand. I was traveling a lot and it needed one. I was just like, I need something to prop up my phone with, and I don't want it to be like I don't want it to be 3 or 4 pounds, or I want it to be like nothing, like a keychain almost. Actually, maybe I did put it on my keychain for a while. My neck is very sore. I slept on my neck wrong last night, man. It's brutal. So there's that. We can do the simple cases there. We can make more designs for this. The design, I think, is... This is so basic. It's not a great design as far as all this goes. But it works, I think. Well, it will definitely work. It should say that. Um, Doing like a nice cutout on the steel somehow would be really neat. The other way we could do this is that if it this part came through this part, or if it was like a twist, so it goes through sideways and then twists and then comes back somehow. That's kind of neat too. Um, I always kind of think of like a pre-assembled product, but having the having this like this here is super neat to me. I definitely want to make some sort of product that's like that. That's like this. So it comes out in a flat sheet, maybe even still attached to each other, or it's like shipped like this with like a little plastic connector or something like that. It's thin enough that you could just like slip it into what do you call it? Like a FedEx like envelope or something like that. So definitely want to like a flat pack envelope sort of thing. That would be cool. I think you could ship up to 3 pounds or 4 pounds in one of those things. So you could definitely do some sort of like sheet metal. Um, Doing a it's almost like origami, but like maybe not origami is probably not the right word. Um, yeah, like folding. So you fold this here where it's pre-folded, so it's a little bit easier for you to follow, or pre-creased, something like that. And that could be done with like a stamping die or whatever. If that was more of a mass manufactured product. Let's see what else. Thinking about stuff. All the different ways we can hold on to our phones. That's an airplane. Oh, that's a water plane. It's neat. I haven't seen one of those in a bit. Okay, so that's good. I'll save it again. Why not? I'll save this as well. Phone mounts. What else do we have when they go? Sit stand desk is probably worth the time to put together a like a good. Because I don't think I ever really developed it. Like just to do a. Did I even get to? No, I didn't even finish the frame or any of that stuff. I wouldn't mind because I like the passive ones or anything that has like a counterweight to it, or just some sort of stored energy. Or you add your own energy to it. It's like hop on this and press this button, and then everything you can kind of like, or put your foot on this, and then it'll move the desk up, like sort of thing, like a big leverage. Stuff like that's just kind of neat to me. It's simple. It doesn't require power and a motor and like a bunch of other stuff. It's just mechanical. Mechan CNC stuff and all that is very, very fascinating, but just like simple mechanisms or complex mechanisms that do something simple are really, really fun to me. I got I saw a video yesterday of somebody that came up with like a food tin crimping um, food tin crimping like device. Just fascinating. It's like you solved a really like a problem of like in food production. Like so, he went to a Chipotle and their burrito bowls are like a football shape, and they have to crimp like an aluminum foil lid onto the onto like a paper bowl, and it takes forever to do this, and then it's not always usually like really secure, and it's like you can't really see the crimp because it's on the other side. So what he did was he made this tool that crimps the whole edge all at once. I was like, man, this is really amazing. And then hopefully, like Chipotle probably just has probably thought about this already, and said, no, it's not worth the investment. But somebody comes with you and he's done a thing. It's like maybe you can just maybe you want to give him a job, or maybe that's what he's going for, and he just likes Chipotle, or maybe he just wants stuff for free. I mean, could you imagine? You just get like a free eating card, something like that. I'm starting to slouch, and it's starting to show. So I have camera stuff, the sit stand desk. So just write this stuff down. Sit desk. Oof. There's camera stuff I think that I made. What is this? The mount spacer? Do I have that on here? What did I use that on? I don't remember what I used the spacer on. There's lots of stuff in here. Let's go through that first. Oh yeah, I was gonna do, yeah, I guess steel fixture. I could sell the F3D for that for sure. That's well, even if the STL was there, that would be easy enough just to do all the rest of it. But if everything else update and all the drawings updated too, that's not bad. I don't know if Fusion has automation for that or not. Because Inventor certainly has. It's like do all this stuff, update it, updates all the drawings with all the dimensions, like within a certain amount, and then you can even take the far enough where you can, it creates all the PDFs and like all the rest for you. The gravel driveway conditioner, that could be a long project, which is more like a combine. So it takes it digs up the gravel driveway down like 2 to 3 inches, separates the gravel from the dirt, and then puts the dirt down, compacts it, puts the gravel back down on top of it. So like it's like a combine almost. So if you're gonna do like a whole driveway, so you just do like a strip and then come back, and then you go back and forth, and then you end up with this nice gravel driveway afterwards. It gets all the and it sifts all the weeds out, all the biomass, stuff like that. And then I was thinking about how could I do all this together and put down like a layer of fabric, because that would just be like mind blowing. But I don't think that's it. There would be almost no overlap, unless you were going over something already, and then you would have to you'd have to be super careful with what you're grinding up. So I don't think that would be possible, but that would be friggin' cool. Or it's just like you just go in the strip, and then it's only putting like a little bit of it on there, because then you go again, and it's putting down just whatever's in the middle of it. And then you could put a spray bar in there too, so it's like as you're spraying, it's spraying like weed killer down like into the soil portion of it, and then you're putting the gravel on top of that, so I'm not spraying the gravel. There's a whole bunch of different stuff that we could do as far as that goes, and then it's only about like the size of you could make it ride on if you wanted to, but I was just like a walk behind like sort of machine, so it'd be no bigger than a snowblower, and it's that would be something else. But I would want to make this larger for businesses, because like that's kind of the angle. It's like no one's gonna buy this machine. Like it would be a rentable machine, which would be really amazing too. So it's like you could sell it to every Home Depot and Home Hardware and all that stuff, so they have one to use. And then you have to make it robust enough that it's like it just goes through its thing and it doesn't fail, like really. Or if it does, everything has to be maintainable. So it's like you grease it after your use. It's cleanable. So maybe putting jets on the inside for pressure washer or something like that, or you'd be able to tip it up and out of the way. I don't know. There's lots of things that might have to be done. Changing belts and we just think about like how much maintenance like farm machinery has to go through, and it's like on that level of complexity. So it's not impossible, but making it like for a larger piece of equipment isn't might be more feasible depending on who you want to sell it to. And like all these things exist individually, but they don't exist all together. Like, and it's in a one thing. So definitely something I wanted to take care of. Let's see here. EMAP canister. Yeah, I've done that already. I only sold the one. I didn't really sell anything else. Longer term project. Projects. There is a like a living, a fully contained like living quarters where there's no furniture. It's just all kind of built into it, kind of like how a swimming pool is kind of built. I was thinking about something like that. And then like your appliances would get mounted into those things, or not put in. So it's not like a traditional, I guess maybe even just like an RV. I need to sneeze here in a second. Maybe not. Nope. No sneeze. Holy crap, 3 hours goes by so fast. Happy 3 hour mark. So doing some brainstorming here. What else do we have? Sit stand desk, work tables, fixture, work tables. This is all like functional stuff. We can do other things too that solve other problems. Solve my own problems. Oh yeah, the grocery cart. The gravel driveway conditioner. Like shit, what was I just talking about? Oh, the digital fence project would be cool. So this is just that's more of like a DIY sort of thing. Oh, the trim coping machine. Yes. That's like an automated, it's like an automated saw for your trim. Or it's like a way to program your trim machine, like as you're going through like room to room. Yeah. I don't know if that stuff exists already, but if it doesn't, man, that'd be something else to get that right. Whew. Make a shed load of money. You're eliminating a person. People will buy that, especially like a lot of the carpenters that I worked with. I worked for a home builder when I was in architecture school. That was like 25 years ago, or 24 years ago, something like that. All the carpenters, they were only one person. Like they were just working alone. And I always thought that was really strange because it's kind of unsafe to do power tool type of work by yourself. It's always nice to have one other person, and like a lot of the times I was the other person that was there on site just for safety reasons. So safety, and then I did general laborer stuff. I did painting and trim prep and a whole bunch of other stuff. Floor sanding, like there's just tons and tons of stuff that I just all the miscellaneous things that I did. um, yeah, it's man, I haven't thought about that in a really long time. He's probably grown that business quite substantially. He was just working out of his house when I worked for him. So, and when I moved away, I think he did a pretty substantial development. Um, I should probably ring him up. So the digital fence, fixture tables. Did I write that down? Yeah, work tables. This could be fab packs. These are like machines maybe for myself. I don't know if I'd want to give those away or not. The digital fence I'd probably give away. Trim coping machine and the gravel drive conditioner, like those would be full blown like inventor sort of projects, because that has like real value, that has patentable stuff in it, or at least trademarkable, like the design wise. What else was I talking about? There's more exhaust parts I could put on there. More exhaust parts. So laptop stand I just finished. That's this thing here. So this would be like a steel project. Something fun. Schools can do this stuff. It's got basic hardware. These things are purchasable. The bolt is purchasable, obviously. These pads you could cut out with like a laser or something like that, like that has the adhesive backed rubber. And then these are laser cut or water jet cut steel. And then these can be easily formed on a just air bending, like a press brake or a folding machine. Either one. Press brake, so that was pretty fun. And this can collapse down as well. It's made to be adjustable, so you can sit your laptop up as as high or as low as you want. Oops. So if you wanted it just like as more of a, what am I doing here? More of a monitor, you just kind of like set it up there, and you could stand the whole thing up so it's up really high, or you can have it so that you can type on it, which is roughly about like that, or you can bring that back here and you could sit it up high like that, and that should be stable. No, and then there's a little bit of welding on here, so this is 2 halves. I originally had it all in one strip so that you didn't have to weld it, but bending something like this requires special folding machine, so it's difficult to do something like this if you don't have the right machines, and most places won't have that machine. So I figured that'll be a little bit easier. We're gonna 3D print the whole thing. Everything's 3D printable. The light fixture. This is what I wanted to do. Work on the light fixture top. Yeah, that's not right. Lists. So make this center bar just by its self, and then be able to attach whole valances on top of that. Yeah, I think I will do that, because that's like a decently fun yeah, light fixture. Okay, so lighting fixture center. Make so that you can change out the, I think it's a valence, right? Light shade thing, whatever those things are. Yeah. So that's that idea, and then so the top cover is just like it's just like a beauty cover, and I had this thing in the middle. Let me get rid of these things. These are all not C. V. There we go. So these things here, they're just the tube is what holds everything together. It doesn't, I don't think it actually needs to be made out of a tube, but it did solve a few purposes for me. It hides most of this socket, and I wanted to use this socket like this because it's easy to get to the wiring. But if this was just a loop, something like that, I would have to put standoffs on here for this, or there might be a reverse version of this where this flange is like halfway down, something like that, so I could just mount it to the one side, but then you see the fastener, or you might be able to see like a spot weld or something like that. So this made just this idea really clean. So that might be the best way to do that, especially if it's like for production. This might not be the best idea, but it is efficient. If you had a 2 processor, this would go really quickly. You could even do like some of the holes in here. You can't do the threading. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Some 2 processors have a mill head on it too, to do stuff like that. So you do like a drill and a drill tap, like it's one like sort of action. It's drill, 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 and it slows down, does tapping, does like 2 threads, and then dips out. So yeah, the bulbs I downloaded from GrabCAD, I think. And it was just nicely done, so I just I got that from them. It looked like a really nice job. It did yeah, quite nice. I wonder if he was a bulb designer. All the different, because these are mold halves and stuff like that. That's why I thought like this was an actual, like, the CAD data from the bulb. Excuse me. And then this I had to design myself from the drawings, just from like I think it was like an Amazon product or something. So I designed that. That should be dimensionally accurate. Use that there, and then this is purchase products and just a piece of metal. So there is a little bit of so this top cover is just like bent sheet metal, and then this has its own ends too, and I overbuilt this on the edge just so that there's like welding room on the inside, I think. Is that what I did at the top? Oops. Section analyses. Yeah. Other way, please. Oh. Yeah. That's what I did. So you could weld pretty much like all the way on the inside, and the outside doesn't doesn't need anything. And this is cut back so that there's no interference with the weld. Nice for coating. And then this would hide all the wires on the inside. So this might need like a wire on top here. It might need a couple holes for that. This just sticks through, so it's almost like a dust cover or something like that. But the actual structure is the tube underneath, and then the other thing is just to protect the wires, essentially. So if I was to attach things to this, like I was showing before, there's like these little areas, but we can always do it on the bottom too. And then just get rid of these little areas. But it's nice to have like just this, because you can hang that. If you just wanted that, you could hang that somewhere and it doesn't look bad. How long is this? This is 44 inches long, so almost 4 feet. It's basically the width of my desk wide. How many? Almost as wide as my desk at the front. 44. Yeah, we just call it that. So pretty big. Two keyboards wide. I think that's 22, isn't it? Nope. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything else that's 22 inches long. So there's that. This here. Porcelain socket. There's no interior to it. Actually might be able to... this is solid part. Oh, there is here. I might actually be able to use that. No, that's the bulb. I would need the other side to that. I could make it the other direction. Just cut the bottom off or do something else. I might be able to find that somewhere else. So light fixture. Custom work. There's custom work I can do for people. Probably not on stream, but maybe if people are into that. So the challenges, golfing, the chalet. Oh yeah. So like the living pod, I guess. Living pod. How big was that? It was actually decent, like decently sized. I figure if you're gonna cook, and you need, it's like a kitchen. I was trying to explore like how little can you get away with and not feel like you're in a prison cell. So it's only got a window on one end. So the deeper that you go into your unit, there's more privacy. Where was this here? This is probably in its own thing. Pampered Chef parts I put up already. Coffee stuff. Oh yeah. Coffee. So these are fab packs. These are freebies. Fab packs. Bulb holder, lighting fixture. Sit stand, work desk, work tables. Exhaust parts can be freebies. unless like they're really crazy. Living pod, that's like an interesting. The living pod, I also thought about creating a. I want to kind of call it like a cottage tube. So it's think of it like a shipping container, but not like a shipping container. So it actually looks kind of like a sci-fi sort of, I don't know, like I want to say solar punk, but that's probably not right. Sort of, yeah, solar, like just like a general shape, something. It kind of sticks out a little bit. It doesn't really integrate. It integrates well with the surrounding environment, but you know that it's ultra modern. So it's got hard straight lines, but where everything meets is curved. So there's curvature to it. And then just to explore different ways. So the living pod and the cottage tube, I guess if you want to call that, the cottage tube should have the ability to auto level itself. This is like what I was thinking. So it has 4 legs or 3. Has the ability to auto level itself to be 6 feet off the ground, something like that. Has contained heating, electricity for like solar and stuff like that, in some sort of holding tank, sewer, or whatever, or just like a direct connection to whatever type of services that you have underneath. So if it was like, I don't know, like it just has all the receptacles for those things. And then I was thinking to myself, just the receptacles, like where you attach things to, all that needs to be designed as well. Like there's some things that exist, but think about like how that stuff looks in movies, in like when they're connecting like big industrial sort of things. That's the kind of the idea. It's like, don't use like specifically use what's here now for your design. Think about what it could look like, or how it would feel, or how you would do this efficiently in the future. Like how would it actually look? It's like, why would you do it this way? It's like, well, this is the way we, not the way we always done it, but this is the way it could have been done in the past, but now it's into the future. So it's like a different way to think about tackling a problem. Could be better, it could be worse. I don't know. It just looks different, something like that. So all that needs to be designed so that you can think about all the services. But you just drop this thing off, like have a helicopter, like literally just drop it off, and then it just reorients itself so that it's correct. And the other thing would be because it's like a room essentially. It doesn't have to have 8-foot ceilings, right? So if it was slightly lower, or if it was slightly angled, or maybe the ceiling is really high, like what does the space look like? So is the entranceway a part of a floor? Does it drop down like, like a giant what do you call it, like the back end of an airplane? You know how the whole floor drops out, the bottom of the airplane becomes like the ramp to go up. So it could be like that, or like you're going to the Millennium Falcon, like that sort of idea. And then once it's closed, it's like that becomes living space. Like it's living space now, but now it's easy to get stuff in and out of, or whatever. So I just kind of like, those are the things that I kind of want to 3D model and explore, because that's kind of fun to do. And just imagine like having that in the middle, like like 2-3 acres that you own somewhere. It's forest, and there's like a little bit of running water, like this, the image that I have in my head. And then this is like the thing that you have, but it's got lots of windows on it, and it's got lighting for on the outside and the inside, so it makes you kind of feel safe. And it's self-contained. You can live in it for a little bit or forever, like whatever. And like my idea is that, where's my desk gonna be? Because this is what I do. So where's my desk gonna be? What's my view look like? How much sunlight do I get? Can I make some food or whatever else there? And then enjoy that moment that I dream about all the time. Like it's just like a singular moment. It's like getting ready. You finally sit down at your desk. You got your coffee, maybe your breakfast and something like that, and like you're literally just kicking back for like the first moment before everything else starts and the chaos starts. Or you go and look on your Twitter or whatever else, your social media. You kind of just sit there and you're taking up just like the niceness of everything else. So everything else like outside like of where you're living, but it's also all the stuff that overlays that view that matters too. So it's like you start with that. Where's my workstation? How am I sitting? Am I up higher or am I lower? Do I have a stool and a chair? How big is the window? What direction is it facing? Do I want water? What kind of view do I want? Is the thing on the edge of a cliff? Like, there's a whole bunch of different ideas, right? So once you start like, okay, this is where I want to end up. This is how I want to feel while I'm sitting there. This is how do I get to that location? Or how do I get to this? How do I get to this state? State is probably a better way to say that. So those two things, the living pod and the cottage. The cottage tube is the getaway, modern sort of idea, and then the living pod is like, this is where you are in the city. So this gives you all the necessities that you have of the cottage tube, but maybe it's even more compact or it's more efficient in its design, or maybe it's exactly the same, but now you can just change the location of this. Wouldn't it be really fascinating if that you could take the cottage tube is like the living pod, it's the same thing, but now you can just like move them around, or they move themselves around. So just imagine if they were on wheels or like a big like ball or something, they could just move around. Or they could walk. That's even more fascinating. Like you think about, oh, we could make this thing walk like somehow, like it doesn't have to be a wheel. We have that capacity now. Has anybody dreamt up that? So we have the walking dog leg, in that idea is like, has anybody scaled this up so that leg is now 10 feet long, and can have that sort of system to it. It works slowly, but it still works, maybe, or slower, just because of its mass or its size. Maybe it doesn't even have to be massive. It just has to be made of like carbon fiber or something. I don't know. And now we can have walking cottages. Like, maybe I'm the guy that makes the walking cottage. It's so funny. And then you could go like one step further. It's like, how does this integrate with everything else? If you had like a little homestead or something like that, is there a natural gas line or well that you dug? Is there water systems? Is there, extra solar? Do you have animals? So how does that fully integrate with like the surrounding? What does that look like? It's pretty fascinating when you really take it in there. Maybe that's more up your alley. Google I/O. May 20th. I am predisposed. Multi-head 3D printer. I'm not going to do anything with that. 3D printers are cool, but there's I don't think there's many problems for me to solve there. Well, maybe there is. Think about 3D print automation integration. See, I don't have any. I did have a project. I have a product to sell, actually. I got about 1,500 of these things to sell. This is just a simple chopstick for junk food. So I haven't been eating a lot of junk food lately, so I haven't been using them. But this is really handy for chips and cheesies and candy and like all the other stuff. It's pretty basic little products. They're 3D printable, so I think that's the better one, I think, if I'm not mistaken. One is really light, one is, this is the one here. So this is the one that's more robust. I was using the other one, I'm like, how come this isn't working right? I'm like, oh, I'm using the prototype. So yeah, this is the one that has the engineered end on it. Is this the fully one? Yes, this is the fully engineered one. So this one is far more accurate. I put it like this because you don't have to reach for two things. It's only one thing. Some people actually got offended when I showed them this. I'm like, why did you put it together? I'm not a child. It's like, listen. It's like, don't take it as a shot. This is just a tool, like a fork or anything else. It's so funny. Another new project. 3D print stuff, maybe 3D print automation. I'll just put this down here. 3D print automation stuff. Automation in general. Generally speaking. How about a walking, the walking cottage? Cottage, or what would that be? Airbnb, the walking cottage. Yeah, sounds like The Walking Dead. It moves so slowly you don't even know it's moving, like a caterpillar almost. Caterpillar. Not tracks. Caterpillar legs. Those are really interesting too. Like, you start studying biology and all that. Like, it's very fascinating what like a caterpillar can move on and attach to. Like, I think they can. Yeah, they can go up walls and all that stuff. Or maybe I'm thinking of a millipede. I forget. But once you have like a lot of legs or appendages, you and they have their own like level of freedom. So like if you have two legs that are next to each other, now you can grip things, right? So you can put them together, you can push things away, and you can, you know, like, if these things are independent with each other, right? So they usually, I don't know if I can do this with my hand or not. They go like this, and then they move their body up, and then they take the other one, right? And then go forward, right? They just kind of keep going. My brain didn't want to work there. Coffee things. Coffee dispenser is probably one of the things I'd love to work on. Coffee K-cup dispenser. No, it's not a K-cup dispenser. It's a coffee dispenser. Longer term products. This would be the baking ingredients. Baking ingredient mixer, I guess. Dispenser. So think about like you have a flour, a container, a sack of flour, and you put it onto this thing and you jam the thing into it, and then it dispenses a correct amount of stuff. So like everything's done by weight, and then you could program your recipes into it, or use like some sort of AI. You take a picture of it and then it uploads it, and you can like take a look at it. So that sort of idea. And then you have your main, at least for like the dry ingredients. The other ones would be cool too. Like if it was refrigerated, you could do butter. You could do oils if you want, or something like that. Butter's always better for me. Anyways, I don't eat oil at all, or try not to. The like, yeah, if you did flour, I just don't eat flour much anymore either. But say if you're baking a pie and you wanted a pie crust, what's all the stuff that goes into the pie crust? So, or a cake or something like that. Cake's probably a better idea, or cookies. So, baking soda, baking powder, flour. You could probably have yeast in there too, some sort of. And then if it was or had a refrigerated element, you could do refrigerated and heating element, because you got to think about what's going on with that. So you could do butter, other types of fats, just in general, salt. And then dairy products like milk, any type of milk that you would want. And then if you want to extrapolate that, so if you do gluten-free cooking, then there's like all the other things. So you're not going to use just regular flour. You might use almond flour or something, either tapioca starch or 1-for-1, and all those other things. And then they have maybe their timing. So this is something that can like dispense your ingredients into like a weighing scale and then tips that into like your mixing bowl, for example. And it might do this based on time, and then this thing can also control your mixer. So that might be like a protocol or something that comes into that, and then it ends up being like kind of like a, not like an all-in-one. It's supposed to be for convenience. So instead of getting this stuff out, getting the measuring cup, and like going through all the motions, this thing measures it all out for you automatically. So that was the idea. So even just the dry ingredients, sugar, the two different kinds of sugar, so brown sugar, white sugar, salt, yeast, baking powder, baking soda, flour, cornstarch, stuff like that. So if you had this one thing, it's like, okay, give me like 2 grams of this. You need, or it's something that like exists in the container, or you take your container, you put it into this one, and it's like, just give me. It just like every time you hit the button, it gives you a teaspoon, right? So it just gives you a teaspoon every single time. Perfect measure each time. And that would be great. Or give me a quarter cup of flour. Give me 2 tablespoons of flour. I'm making a roux, right? That would be really amazing to change how we measure things for convenience. Because then you got to clean it, and then just like you got to put it away, and it's like and it becomes another utensil. So if that thing stays in the thing, then it's not dirty. You know, it's a part of that. It's a part of your ingredient. So think about how things are packaged. So instead of a 5 kilogram paper bag in such a way, the paper bag is made for the machine, and that could be easily done. Every single customer place would do that if they could charge an extra, dollar for their product when it's in a certain type of thing. So think about like K-cups and stuff like that. Except your package is all paper, maybe one piece of plastic that's biodegradable, something like that. And it's like it takes away the mess of cleaning that up and dealing with powders in the air and stuff like that. So as long as it addresses a lot of those different problems, that's what I like. So I'd love to tackle something like that. And I would imagine, like, maybe somebody's just not done it. Maybe somebody has done it. Like, there's manual versions of these things that exist. Why there's not like a high-tech version of it, I don't know. Like, I haven't seen one. But, as the as the what do you call it? Fate, not fate, but like it always kind of seems to work out. Like when you actually go to get the motivation and you're not procrastinating on that stuff, and you start on it, and you're like maybe 5 minutes into it, somebody releases the product that you're looking at, looking to build. You're like, oh damn it, why'd you do that? Oh, the tortilla press, yeah. So I could finish the tortilla press for sure. Maybe I'll do that next. I gotta stop doing that here. For the precision tortilla press. This is the precision tortilla press is, I bought one of the standard cast iron ones for making just corn tortillas, and I was thinking to myself, this thing is a huge pain in the ass to use because I gotta like flatten it 3 or 4 different times, and it's not large enough. There's other ones that are fabricated that solve most of the issues because they're really big and bulky, like they're like an appliance that you would keep outside or near your other thing. The only thing that I've actually seen that works really well, they do exist in commercial capacities. They're several $1,000s. They're heated on one side or sometimes both. The one that I saw that was made like fabricated also had a heating element to it. I want to say that it was, I'm pretty sure it was electric. It had like an oven element or on it or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But then once they were formed, so like it would be like 1, 2, 3, and she'd take the tortilla and then put it on like a dome sort of sort of shape. I forget what it was exactly, but so this tortilla press is like the small one, like the cast iron one, but higher precision, and it doesn't have that clamshell effect where it's just like it only opens on the one side. So it kind of acts that same way because I want the mechanical advantage of something pressing down on it. But once you get it to this spot here, it only goes up and it only goes straight up and down. So it's like the top is not a part of this piece, it's on a hinge. So it hinges over like this, and then once it gets to there, the whole thing can be up and down. And that up and down motion is controlled by like the hinge that's on this side, or sorry, the mechanical advantage on this side and the hinge that's on this side. So it's like this thing is kind of double acting where it goes down at the same thing. So I haven't worked that out yet, but maybe I should. That'll be really fun to put together. And then I can sell that design can be sold. I'm totally fine with that. And that's kind of like where some of these things are. It's like just solve your own problems. Water cooled 3D printed rendering. That's somebody else's thing I can get rid of. Oh, the zero turn mower. Yeah, I was starting to design that. This was the larger piece. I thought I did. Maybe there was two things here. So the larger projects, zero turn mower, mower platform, and deck. So this is like I wouldn't mind to actually make this myself, but it's a longer term project. You have the plans to go and make each piece of these things. Sometimes you can make it cheaper than actually buying it. Like if you just like doing it yourself. So like if you need to buy the material, have it bent for you, but there's no welding, there's no finishing, there's no powder coat. You're gonna do all that stuff yourself. You're more than happy just to touch up some stuff or whatever. In the beginning, so you want some of it electric and some of it gas powered. Or it's all gas powered, but it's not hydrostat drive, it's electric drive, which is probably the new thing that's coming in. Those things will be another $3,000, but there'll be no maintenance beside the blade. Yeah, that's coming. I can guarantee it almost. As the best of all worlds, or you can have like the giant battery pack instead of the engine. So it's like, which one do you want to choose? Kind of weird that we live in that like time right now that stuff is like that, but kind of cool still at the same time. Okay, so in Carsies, where's the okay. So chopsticks, the iPhone mount, drive caddy. No, I'm not gonna do that. That was somebody else's design. I just modified. CNC stuff. No, that was for CNC projects. People do want to build machines, so like that's the automated stuff, I guess. Building a conveyor. What else could we do? The coffee stuff is working on the big can dispenser. So I want to build, okay, so this hopper, so the coffee stuff. This has new agitator. I don't know how to spell, forgive me. And new ring. Coffee can mounting ring. So right now this just clips onto the side of like a big can, and it like works about perfect. It's really good. This will fit like a large coffee can like this upside down. And where's my, do I have an analysis on here? Yeah, I do. So just imagine like this can will like, it sits in here pretty much perfectly, like something like that. There's like a lip in here. I didn't actually draw that. I'll draw that out fully. Something like that. So it clips around pretty much all the way around the outside, or 4 spots, I think. Or is it just 2, 3? Yeah, it's 3 spots. 2, 3. Maybe it's not 3. I haven't visited this in a while, talking out my ass. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 3 locations. Holds the can in nice, and then you put your Keurig reusable filter in the bottom, like a so, and then when you actuate it, it dispenses coffee into it. So you can see that it just takes the next thing and throws that in there. Like that. And that was the idea that I had. Everything stays sealed, so nothing really gets to the air. And yeah, it's nice and easy. You just put it in there. And then rotate that. You get your coffee thing. So spring mechanism that goes back and forth. I just use like a rubber band for now. Or you could put on like an actual spring. And it's like all that stuff that I want to develop still. This probably needs like a little bit of refinement just so it doesn't look so ass. And then also underneath the top there's this thing that spins around, which needs refinement as well. This is not great. The mechanism where this thing turns is okay, but this will not work. This has too much friction to it. This is going to end up like a spiral around this tube. I might actually be able to do that right now. So actually we're coming up here on the 1:30. Yeah, maybe I'll take a break for now and go have some lunch. I need to cook my meat and eat that. Some eggs. Maybe I was gonna make making butter chicken and rice tonight. It's broccoli, I think. Broccoli and the cauliflower are kind of nice together, but I don't really eat a whole lot of that stuff. So if you eat now, by 2 o'clock or so, 2:30, yeah, that's a good compressed window. I'm hungry, but I'm not really that hungry. So as the coffee falls in here, or I should say, the reason why I need the agitator is when I put all this stuff together and I didn't have any of that. What is this thing called? Yeah, the base agitator. All I need is something that starts off on top here and just basically looks like maybe like a half spiral. Excuse me. A half spiral or so. Just, yeah, something really basic. So hopper agitator. How far back did I make this? So that's this piece. Okay. And then is there a second piece on here? Yeah, the agitator topper is what I really need. So this would just fit inside. I figured I needed like all this stuff here. It's like I just don't need it all. I just need one thing that can easily slip around, and then it just needs to be able to fall down into the hole, because this is not quite steep enough. So it'd have to be like pretty steep. And I didn't want this too high. I wanted to fit underneath the counter. I don't think it does though. Or underneath the cupboards. Yeah, I think it does. It should. 19, I forget. Sinuses. Yeah. Maybe we'll do that when I come back. So let me set you up with let me see here. Yeah, I'm gonna take a break. I'll stream again later on if I actually come to that. We'll see what everybody else is doing too. Let's go on here. Through people. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. I'll take a break. I'll be back later on. Probably doing some more design stuff. If not design, maybe I'll do some gaming or something. And we're not really too sure. I got a lot. I got done what I wanted to get done today, which is really cool. I'll probably get the 3D printer set up and get the other piece running, and then I'll put that up in the corner, or something like that, with the webcam. And that can print all night or whatever, depending on. I'll do that setup, get that printing, and maybe we work on this little agitator, and then I could actually show you these like real parts. I haven't been drinking a lot of coffee lately, but I have been using the reusable K cups to use up an older bag of coffee that I had that was still sealed and still good. I can't even imagine how old it is. It's one of those things that I found. But this was such a fun little project. It's fun for other people to do too, and it would just be like, hey man, you can use this thing, and it's just really neat. The other this was the second idea that I had for like a mechanism to like, it doesn't need to be this complicated, I don't think. If I could make something that's like a shaker almost, where it puts the dose on the end of the thing, so you have like almost like a bottle, that like a measuring thing that goes on a like a spirits bottle. So it's like you have to do it twice, and then like as it comes back, right, that goes into the thing, and then once you pour it out again to get the next dose, that goes into your coffee thing. So I think the only reason why I did this was I don't have to like physically picking anything up, and the only thing I need to do is like literally just put the thing in it, actuate it once, and then the coffee's in there. There's no real actual action, or there's no action afterwards. But coffee cans have changed a little bit, or there's different styles. So I do have a thing of Folgers. Uh, Excuse me, the Folgers, and I think maybe Maxwell House has something similar too, where the hopper can be just like, you take the whole machine, you tip it upside down, you put that on there, and then you tip it back, and that's what the hopper's for. The size is still the same, but the way that mounts on is now different. So I wanted to make a hopper that was that has that compatible edge, or maybe it like twists on. I think the Folgers cans from back in the day were actually like a threaded top or something. I forget exactly. So, and then this base here was just to support the backside. It doesn't really need it, but it had a tendency to maybe want to flip over because it was right on the back of the edge, and I was like, nah, we'll just put this big flap on the back of it, and that ended up being good. So maybe we'll come back and do that agitator. So if you've been hanging out, thanks very much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the chat messages, and just the time hanging out. It's really awesome. Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate that. Just trying to like make people aware of what I do here, and spend some time obviously with people, get more ideas, get my ideas out there, and then also just try and help the community in any way that I can. So I try to do things like when in CAD that maybe that like a beginner is watching. It's like, oh, I'd really want to try this out. It's like, how do I even get started? It's like showing you all those like little things, and then maybe going slow at certain points and like breaking things down and all that. So I'm trying to keep that in mind, and that's kind of like the idea. Catch it live or catch it VODs. They have questions like live. I like to help. So, and then to provide the 3D models for the community, just to like try and solve problems in their with their own stuff. So try and give away those things for free. By solving my own problems, hopefully I can get some more, maybe more fun things on the go. I'm just more of like an engineer, analytical, seriously sort of person, I guess. How I think about things. So, and the types of models that I like to give away and stuff. And then there's practical things like this. I think this project is worth money because I've just put so much time into it. So if you want to create this, it's like, I hate to say it's like a forced donation or something, but it's like you're just buying this design instead of, you could totally just make it yourself, watch the videos and just like make everything yourself. But everything is done for you then, so it's more like adult Legos instead of actually engineering everything. But there's fun in all of that, so it's like, for the one person that just wants to print it, here you go, and the one person that wants to do this, here's actually how you draw it all out. And if you want to manufacture it, here's all the drawings and everything else. So the drawings are the extra step, and where the value actually is, the time. Or you could take this information, now you can convey all this information to somebody else. Or somebody can actually do engineering calculations and stuff like that on it. You got all the information there. Or just, it's just something as communication to as standard drawings. Anyways, thank you again. I really appreciate it. For tuning in. Have a great afternoon.